evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, hello. Hey, Peggy. Hey, J-Mac. Hey, Nuki. Hey, Maria. Hey, Ash. Hey, Atlas. How are we doing today? I hope we're all doing well. Peggy, thank you so much for the follow as well, you absolute legend. How are we doing? How are we doing? Hey, J-Mac. Hey, Cryptic. I hope everybody has a wonderful start to their week. A wonderful start indeed. I am currently live both here and on the YouTubes. Hey, Frosty, how are you doing? Hello, Gorgeous, and the nerd who wears the Gorgeous. Thank you, Frosty. Thank you. Atlas, let's go. Let's make it a good time then. Let's make it a good time. I do look like that, yeah. Some people think I am the same person. But actually, no, I'm not. It's a different person. Completely different person. Yeah. That's how this works. That's how this works. Honestly, I'm happy to be back. I'm gonna be back a lot because, oh my god, do I have stuff to test. Guys, I've been told that I have to test this camera before the end of the month, which is going to be interesting. And I want to do something cool with it. Not just show you guys the different, like, what a PTZ camera can do, but I also want to show you guys some cool stuff you can do with Streamer.bot and that thing. So that's one. And two, we are also going to be testing out this beast in a stream soon. This is the new Fi-Fine microphone, and Frosty and I tested it today. If you're looking for a microphone that yeah, let's just say I have a $1,200 setup. I had a much cheaper setup. This one performed almost as good. Frosty could not hear the difference at all. I could hear a slight difference. So it is going to be really interesting to test those out with you guys. We're going to set the whole microphone up. We're going to play around with the ops bot. That is going to be Tuesday and probably next Monday. Yeah. You have to say it's the tech. I knew it, Nuki. It's always the tech, isn't it? It's always the tech. I'm getting contacted by more people now, which is nice. I get to try out some tech. I make videos about them. It's really awesome. I'm really enjoying that. It's good fun. However, and what we are doing tonight is also very interesting. Hey, Albedo over on YouTube. How are you doing? How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing amazing. I need to up the font size a little bit so I can actually see chat on that side. There we go. Hey, Armchair, how are you doing? That's fair, Nuki. That's absolutely fair. Do you just get the free item or money too? So, the size that this channel is at the moment, I just get a few. I just get the free items, right? Albedo coming over to Twitch as well. You absolute legend. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for the follow. So because this is not my main Twitch channel, I'm not even affiliated here. I'm partnered on my main Twitch channel. And because Content Delta has only just become monetized, I'm only getting the items to test, but then I can keep them. Which has the nice benefit that I then can give them away. Because that's usually what I do. I get the item, I test them. Do I still need them? No, then I'll give them away. I'm doing very well, Albedo. I'm doing very well. How are you? What about when you get bigger? So, when you get bigger, yes, you will get to a point where YouTube, or where not YouTube, where companies will pay you to make YouTube videos. And there are some formulas you can use for that. For Twitch, there is also a formula for this, by the way. If you guys didn't know, for Twitch, there is a formula for how much money you can make as a creator. The same counts for YouTube, but on YouTube, it's a lot more difficult because you take into account your views and subscribers and your conversion rate and your performances. On Twitch is much easier. Twitch has the easiest one out there. Genuinely. So if you want to know, if you ever want to get sponsored on Twitch, right? If you have a company reaching out to you and they want to pay you, or they don't offer free, or they don't just want to do free product, then what you do is you look for a number. Oh, that's very small. Let me just thicken that up a little bit. So a number between $1.50 and $2.50. You sort of pick the number based on how much you like the brand, how much you want to work with them, and also there is a chance that you can go lower than $1.50 to $1 if you are intending to have like a long-term relation with them. So it's not a one-off, it's something that you can do more often. But what you then do is your average viewers over the past 90 days times that number times the number of hours that you stream. So let's say that they want to do a 4-hour sponsored stream. Then you go 150 times 4 times your average viewers, and that is how much you charge. Super simple, but very nice to have that number sort of there. There's nothing else you need to do, right? Just have that number. Which I quite like as a thing. It is super clever, yes, but more importantly, it also solves a lot of problems. Because you very easily get into that situation, especially on Twitch, where you don't 100% know what to do and what you should charge for things. And just having this as sort of a baseline is an absolute wonder of the world. Why am I hearing things twice? 1 second. I am hearing things twice. Why? Why are you on monitor and output? I don't need to monitor those at the moment. That's another time. There we go. Fix. All fixed. Sorry, I quickly wanted to turn my recording OBS on as well. Take notes, everyone. You don't have to. I often, when we talk about these things, I make them into shorts afterwards. So you can also just catch them there. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Amanda. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. And Maria, thank you so much. I do like the transitions that I made here. And everything is modular. Like, I can make the small screen disappear as well. It's a little too small, and for some reason, chat doesn't show up in the bar at the bottom anymore. I think that is a bug with stream elements, but that's all fine. That happens. How are you doing, Amanda? I hope you're doing well. Why we're here today, however, is something completely different. Because we are here today because there is a new competitor on the market for OBS. And it is called Meld. It is what they call it, a new creative powerhouse. Go live with perfect audio, flawless video, and cutting-edge performance. Spend more time streaming and less time fiddling. So it already exists for macOS, and they're in the Windows beta. I have been given access to the Windows beta, and we are today going to have ourselves a little look-see at what it can do, what's built in, what's not built in, and also why you would or would not use it in the end. However, I say this knowing very well that I have no idea what my review is going to be like. I got access to it, but I have not. The only thing I've done is install it and open it. I don't know how it works. I don't know how to set it up. Because they are saying spend more time streaming and less time fiddling. So I assume that the install of this particular thing is going to be super easy. So I wasn't going to prepare. We're going in, and I want to see if if it is as user-friendly as they think it is. You heard of Meld Albedo? I get that, yeah. It's been around for a bit. I just haven't had the chance to try it yet. Because I was made aware of it, I think, by Amanda last week, and I immediately applied. And I got access, so that's nice. I really want to like this. Stream Deck seems to be in and out. No streamer bot. You've tried to use it 5 or 6 times and ended up stopping trying. Cryptic, yeah, so the one thing I do know is that streamer.bot has no integration to it yet. Not you. Wasn't it you? It was somebody on the YouTube who left a comment. A commenter was like, could you check it out? I thought it was you. I don't know. It's fine. Somebody was like, check it out. And I checked it out because I hadn't heard of it yet. There's a lot of features. We're going to go through them. There's a lot of blogs and things that they talk about. And then we're actually gonna get ourselves in there and have a look at what this thing can actually do. See if we can not only build a stream, but I've also made a secondary YouTube channel, which you should not follow, which we are going to stream to. It is just going to be a throwaway account. We won't be using it for the rest, but I need an account to stream to in addition to Content Delta. So we're going to have a look-see. So this is how it's going to look in a little bit. I already see a few things that are very interesting. Now, I want to quickly see if I can do one thing, because I think that would be really, really nice. Let me just see if I have them installed. I think I do. No, maybe I do not. Can I install them quickly? What's it called? Is this it? Yes. That's it. Oh, I have to log in. Really? Yeah, they installed pretty quick. It just logged me in on the wrong account, which is the worst part of it, to be honest. It's fine. You know who I am. Okay, fine. I'm just quickly logging in over here. There and there. Yep. Go on. Yeah, go for it. Oh, I need to... I need to verify my email address. Because I'm logging in from a different browser. Really? Really? Come on, then. We'll do it. We'll do it. Yes, we're linking accounts. Now can I install the thing? Open in Stream Deck, please. Thank you. You didn't open in Stream Deck, did you? You didn't do it. It said it did it. It didn't do it. What video would that comment have been on? I have no idea. No, I really don't know. I just... See, I see all the comments in one list. So I wouldn't know which exactly it is in. But that's also fine. It's all fine. It can be found in my actions list. What if it can't? Does that mean I've disabled it? No. Okay, is it called highlighter? No. Is it called spotlight? It is. There we go. So now I have a button that allows me to highlight my mouse. That's going to make life easier for you guys and for me. Hey, Grandma Boo, how are you doing? How are you doing? There we go. So now you guys can actually see what I'm pointing at. One thing I immediately saw is this. So built in multi-streaming is very interesting. Built-in disk space recognition, CPU usage all on the top bar. I have to say, from the initial look here, it does look extremely, like, refined. It looks a lot better than OBS, but then OBS is very, very old, right? So that absolutely makes sense. Apparently you can just drag the corners on any layer, which means that you can very easily set up your rounded corners and circle masks and that sort of stuff. Smart snapping lines allow you to perfectly align your layers on the first try. Okay, but then you need to be sort of... You need to have it at the same size, which is not always the case. Question is if that's going to be useful. Code Chopper, thank you so much for the follow, you absolute legend. It was by Kata. Aha, that makes sense then. That makes sense. One-click flips, rotating layers, all these things should be built in. 30 transitions and effects. That's going to be really interesting to play with. You can make... Oh, that actually looks really nice if you can do that just completely in the app. Chroma key. Yeah, that's fair. Audio mixing. As we would expect. Now, this is something that I do find really interesting. So, I don't know if you guys can see this over here. And already, my mouse highlighter is broken. Really? Okay, there we go. It works again. So, apparently you can set different channels for the left and right channel. That is kind of interesting. Because that means if you have two microphones hooked up, you can do ASMR, for example, without needing a special microphone. Now, that could be really interesting. Just as a general concept, that could be extremely interesting. Here we have, yeah, audio capture and monitoring. That's fairly normal. Build for optimal performance. That's a Mac logo. So, it's natively built for Apple Silicon and is going to be reworked for Windows. That can't always be great. Hey, that is awesome. Thank you so much, Code Chopper. Thank you very, very much. Your new kitchen is arriving tomorrow, meaning my apartment is finally going to be completed. Let's go, Amanda. That's really awesome. That is really, really awesome. It says efficient CPU usage, but it doesn't actually say what that CPU usage is. And then a lot of people saying, okay, you stream with Meld, right? Stream Deck integration, made by people who know streaming best. DJs, gamers, designers, engineers. We're all streamers who understand the unique challenges and opportunities that it brings. Very interesting. Very cool stuff. Bookish B, thank you for the follow. I guess I need to update Meld since I got it a while ago. I'm not seeing some of the things you have on it. Well, we're gonna have a look at it today, Grandma Boo. I'm gonna try and actually build a stream overlay on there, and then we are gonna see if we can stream. And if we can stream, is it any better? I've already got a few things in mind. I've not tested it myself. As I said earlier, I've just installed it. And I want it to be as user-friendly as they say, right? More time streaming, less time fiddling. So I've not looked at it at all. I'm going in blind, pretty much. There's a lot of things about visual effects. Apparently, there are quite a lot of them. We'll go have a look at what they can do. No add-ons, no plugins. Interesting. Interesting. That is something we'll talk about more later. Limitless possibilities. Share and swap effects as well. And chroma keying is the new... Yeah, but chroma keying is not that new. Like, OBS has chroma keys. That I'm not so sure about why that is so highly mentioned. Gaussian blur, directional blur, drop shadows, shadow styles, glow styles, fractal noise, invert colors, and threshold. These are all things, by the way, that are not natively in OBS. None of these are natively in OBS. Except invert colors, I suppose. There's some make those colors pop, so you could go black and white, brightness, shift channels, gradients. Gradients is also something that is not natively in OBS, by the way. Very interesting sort of what kind of things that they can do. But I kind of just want to get stuck into it. What do you guys think? Shall we just get stuck into it? See what it can do. See what works. There's like a lot of meet Meld Studio. They have a lot of blogs. Apparently it works with a Stream Deck. Oh, there's another thing. Built-in vertical streaming as well. I just wonder if you can set that up in a way that actually lets you have two different canvases. That is going to be very, very interesting. So that is something. They're also working on some C++ stuff. I'm just showing you guys, right? The VOD track has been updated. This is very recently. The 17th of May, they added VOD tracks. New audio effects have been added. And the last one was 25th of August with a whole load of updates. This is what it looks like. This is Meld. You guys are looking at it as we speak. And I'm how much can we shift around here? Can I just... Okay, okay, that's the biggest it gets. I have nothing on my inspector side. Okay, the audio... I'm gonna make the audio mixer as big as possible. Scene 1 with layers. I'm assuming that the layers are like sources, to be honest. But first, preferences. Let's set things up. I have a 1440p canvas, thank you very much. And it's going to be zoomed in for you guys. Oh, can I zoom in? Thank you. There we go. Now you guys can actually see. Frame rate is 60 FPS. You can't log into Twitch yet. Interesting. Okay. So that is something they're still going to have to add. So let's have a look at the available Twitch servers. We'll just pick one of the Amsterdam ones. Do I then just take that? Is that the thing? I think it is. Boom. And then my stream key, which of course I cannot show you guys, so I'm going to put that in later. Video bitrate. Let's go 8 kbps. It's weird that you can't set that yourself. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 20, and 25. Which means that technically you can't even go through all of YouTube's. Because YouTube allows up to 40k BPS. 40k kbps. Sorry, 40,000 kbps. But Twitch is 8,000, so that's fine. Show me the stream key. I want control. Not happening. No. Even to that channel, I would not give that out. We have local destination is your local video folder to start with. Format is... Oh. So your recording formats are currently limited to QuickTime, Matryoshka, and Flash. So we're going to have to go with MKV. I am hoping that when we go with MKV, this has a built-in remuxer. Because else, editing it is going to be an absolute crime. So MKV is a great video format because if you break down... Wrong button. Wrong button. There we go. If you break down in the middle of your stream with MKV, what MKV does, it just constantly records. And if you crash, right? What MP4 does is slightly different. Honestly, once they add more features, I think Meld will be great. You've been keeping track of it too? Oh, see? Bravo. There is something. There is something that I am not completely agreeing with. And I will talk about that later. But there's one big difference already between OBS and Meld, which we will discuss later. You wonder about the CPU usage? That's why we're going to build a complete stream overlay, and I'm going to stream to a dummy channel, and we're going to see what the difference is between my OBS that's currently streaming to both Twitch and YouTube, and what Meld can do, which will only stream to Twitch. And then we're going to have to sort of play around with that a little bit and hope that we get a comparable number. But the problem is with MP4 recording, if you are recording and you crash at any point, your recording instantly corrupts. MKV saves that and holds it. However, your editing software, for me that is DaVinci Resolve, but really any editing software, doesn't like the MKV format, which is why in OBS you always remux the MP4 after you have recorded, so you can actually edit it easily. You can't do that with this yet. That's interesting. That is a minor gripe that you could have. But okay, we'll leave it on MKV for now. Oh, geez, I didn't mean to click out of it. We'll do the stream key in a bit. Okay, so there are Meld plugins. Okay. So they do allow for plugins to be designed. That was the gripe that was in my head. So OBS is open source, which means anybody can make plugins for it. You can see the source code, you can see how it interacts with things, you have an API, all of it is open source, right? Which is great. That is why people love OBS, and that's why it's still being developed to this day. Here, I was worried that Meld would have full control over the plugins, or even not allow plugins at all. I don't know if these are going to allow for external plugins, because it does seem to go to like a Meld specific server, which for me was one of the big sort of initial reasons immediately to think, I don't think I'll be using Meld, because it's not open source. Because if something breaks, people can't fix it. They have to wait for Meld to fix it, which is fair enough. Oh, they allow remote connections as well. So that means somebody could make it for streamer.bot. Very nice. Those abilities are there. Output device, yeah, that doesn't really matter right now. We'll be playing around with that later. Snapping line colors, that's fine. Snapping threshold pixels, 8. What? I'm gonna set that to 10. 8. And then your transition settings, with a standard being the move transition. The standard is a move transition. With an easing... Holy shit, that's a lot of easing curves. Okay. 1 second is way too long, but that's fine. We'll get to that later. And we'll go for continuous. Because at that point, once it transfers, it sort of flows instead of hitting a point and then transferring. But we're going to play around with it. We've now set it up. I will add my stream key later. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. Scene 1. Layer. You know what? I'm going to start off with... Let's say that we're making a gaming scene, right? Shall we start by making a gaming scene? So, I'm just gonna pretend that we are playing Fortnite, because I happen to have that image. Yeah, that's gonna be our game later. That's gonna be our game later, Fortnite. The layout seems very user-friendly, but I can't drag them around. See, I can't drag the boxes around, so that might become interesting. Okay, you can see. Oh, that is nice. Look up here. Look, you can immediately see the exact X and Y coordinates. You can see the rotation. I can... Oh my... Okay. Okay. That is nice. This is actually really nice. I can say I want exactly 120 pixels of rounded corner. And look, it just jumps in. Do you want more? Do you want to get an idea of how far you want to go? Well, you can now. That's kind of good. And there is... Okay. Does that also... No. So, for those that don't know, if you hold Alt in OBS and you pull it from side to side, that tends to crop. Instead, you go in here and you need to crop it like this, but you see what is still outside the crop. This is interesting. I'm not saying good or bad at this point. I'm just saying interesting. Finchy Kid, if you go to... oh, what is the website? One sec. I have it open. The website is meldstudio.co. You can apply for the Windows beta. If you're on Mac, it's already released. And then you can change the opacity. So you could change the opacity of your gameplay with 0 extra information. Just nothing. That is... and then here are the effects. Yeah, that is a cool thing. Okay, I'm gonna say it. So, for those that don't know, I can... Can I open a third OBS? 1 second. Where's my test rig? There's my test rig. Let me open it. Because I want to show you guys how it looks. Like, you see me a lot of times now, right? But this is my test rig. So, to see, for example, in OBS, here we have the gameplay. That is not... What am I holding? Go away, go away, go away. Here we have the gameplay, right? I'm still not grabbing the right thing. Here we have the gameplay. So we can resize it, we can crop it, but if you crop, you can't see what's outside it. And if you want to see all that information, you need to right-click, transform, edit transform, and then you can see it. The problem is, if you change anything in here, it feels very clunky, and now I've rotated it. It's not rotating around the right axis, so you need to change the positional alignment to center, but that throws it off again. And then you need to rotate it, and it's like 35 degrees, like that, right? That can be a problem. In Meld, all that is in one window here on the right behind my face. Right behind my face, you can see all of it. Yeah, everything's there. In a very small box. I like that. That is good. Remember, that's an image. There might be different things for video capture. Well, shall we have a look? Because for now, that is an image. Let's add a video device. Right there. And let's add my camera. Which is my capture card. There we go. Hello! That is live. That is nice. So we'll put it here for now. And again, there's a crop button on the bottom. And I can crop it right now into vertical. Oh, and I can drag the box as well. Okay, so it shows you when you're anchored to the middle in the middle. Now, I think it's showing too much of the bottom, so I'm just gonna shrink that in a little bit. Get a nice tight... that's too tight. A little bit more open vertical cam. Straight in the middle, and then I just go done. And again, I can make myself disappear. Look. Thanos snap. Easy peasy. Okay. That's kind of cool. That is kind of cool. So I could just put that here on the right-hand side, and everything's fine. Let's say that I want a little effect to this, because I do have a little effect here. As you can see on my camera here, I'm a little less pale. It's because I have a little LUT on there. But let's say that we want to do that with an effect. The effects are under my face, so I'm going to disappear there for a second. Hey, Ram Cycle, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. I can go hue saturation. There. Like a hue shift. Oh, that is funky. Okay, let's not do that. You can choose each of the channels. And let's say I'm just going to up my saturation a little bit. Just to make me look a little less pale as a basement. No, I'm not a basement dweller. I just don't get out much. I work behind a computer, right? Let's put it like this. Maybe a little bit higher. Like, let's get myself... And I'm going to take the red channels and I'm going to dial them down a little bit. Because the reds tend to overtake. There we go. Hey, Turksy. Hey, TG Froggy. This is free. Yeah, this is free software. So, I actually quite like how that looks. And I'm going to keep it like that. And I can just click away. But let's say that I also wanted to have a... Let's say that I want a redemption, right? I don't know if we can do this yet. But let's say I want a redemption. And what I want to do is I want to do a shift. It takes from red. It's going to take... Oh, God, no. Don't take red to alpha. That's a bad idea. No, that's not what I want. Maybe I don't want... Is it shift channel? No, tritone. Let's do a tritone. And the low color is going to be like gold-ish. A dark gold. And then we'll take the mid color. Right? And we'll make that a little bit brighter. Like... It's a bit too yellow. There. And we'll take... Oh, that didn't save. There. We can do that. Oh, that doesn't seem to save on the mid color. But it does save in the actual thing. So I'm just going to take the high colors and put that to a lighter gold. And now I can make myself into a golden kappa if I really wanted to. I can make myself into a golden kappa as a redeem. Imagine you getting a golden kappa hype train on Twitch or something like that, and boom. Hey, Karamortus, this is called Meld Studio, or Meld, technically, but the website's called Meld Studio. You would switch over if it had multi-streaming built in? David, what have I told you? That this is according to their website. Look, this is on their front page. They advertise it has it. I haven't set it up yet. I haven't set it up yet. But apparently, it should be there. How? I'm not sure yet. We're going to figure that one out. Now, what could be really cool is if in addition to the tritone, I can sharpen. So the reason I want to sharpen quite a bit is when you then turn on the tritone, no, it doesn't work. It's not strong enough to sharpen. I was hoping to get like a real kappa sort of 2D effect. But you can make yourself gold. And now for the trick. As you guys can see when I come out over here, I like my camera to have rounded corners. So drag from here and let's set some rounded corners. There we go. Maybe make myself a little smaller. And look at that. It automatically says, oh, the source you're dragging now is in the center. Which is actually really nice. That is not something that OBS does. This is really interesting. So let's set it to like 70. I quite like that as a setup. And then what we're going to do is... I want something what I really want is a border around this. Let's say that you want a border. It said there's easy border snapping. That's what they said. There is a drop shadow. What I don't see is an outline. It doesn't seem like there's an outline. But we can... Wait, let's turn back on our tritone. And let's turn them slightly bluish. So let's go dark blue. We'll go like a really pale sort of blue and then white. And now what I'm gonna add is Venetian blinds. I want them at 90 degrees. Okay. You can... Oh, God. Not sure why you would use this yet. And you can feather them. Look at that. Now it has kind of a hologram look. So you can actually do a hologram look inside of OBS. Which is kind of... Or inside of Meld. And look, I'm actually slightly see-through. You can see the Fortnite character through me. I can make that even stronger by reducing my opacity. Ah. And you can save this. Yeah. So I'm thinking that once you get to have streamer to bot integration, you could have this as a redeem. And now add a voice mod to that to make you sound a bit more static. And you could actually make yourself a hologram. That is kind of cool. Okay, that's a fun little thing we can do. Those things are interesting. I am gonna put my opacity back to 100, so I'm no longer see-through. Do you have something similar to move transitions? Yes. Move is actually the first type of transition. So I'm gonna rename my scene over here. And I'm gonna rename it gaming scene. And if I then go in and make another scene, rename it just chatting, can I then go up here, add a layer, add a or actually, can I just copy this? Yes, copy layer. Paste layer. Okay. But now this layer is the same as this layer. What if I want to change this layer on this screen? Let's say that I want it to be here. Holy shit, that's easy. Yeah, I could just uncrop. Oh, okay, let's reset the crop. Done. Let's drag that back in place. Let's take away those corners and make sure it fits nicely to the screen, which it should do. Yeah, there we go. That fills the whole screen. And now if I switch... Ho, 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 ho! Okay, that is a game changer. That is a game changer. Look how smooth that looks. Holy shit. Yeah, no, I like that. That also means if I now go to my other scene, and let's say that we have a game here. It's an image right now, but let's say we have a game, and I want that in here. And just like what I can do here, where I can bring in, not on this scene. On this scene, I can't bring in my small screen. But I can bring in my desk cam, which doesn't work at the moment. Right? But normally I have like a small screen of the game in the corner. Because I like you guys being able to see what we are doing still. And I give that a little curve. And now I switch to the other scene. Okay. That is smooth. That is actually really smooth. I like that. It just works. No bullshit, no random stuff, no nothing. It just works. Okay. That's a cool effect. Now, of course, I can add an effect to my small game, which I will, for example, call... Or which one would... Bulge. We're gonna give it a big old bulge. Let's do like that, and let's give it a good height. Maybe a bigger or a very... Like... That is not enough distortion. Let's not give it a bulge. My headset just turned off. You know what we'll do? We'll do a channel shift or something. I want something quite significant. Hey, Nimue! I'm gonna put on a not drop shadow. I'm gonna put on a blur, because a blur is very easy to see, right? A directional blur. You guys can see how blurry that is. It is extremely blurry. Now I switch. It takes the effect away. Okay. That is smooth. I seem to be getting more positive about this than I thought. Yeah, it even animates the webcam if you flip it. So let's say, because now usually I flip one of these two around, because when I'm gaming, I'm always looking this way, right? And one of my little things is I like to have it so I look inside. I look inwards, not outwards. So I'm gonna flip it horizontal. Now whenever I look in towards my gaming screen, I'm actually looking towards the screen, right? I'm looking towards it. So what I can then do is go to the other one, and it flips it back, and it keeps... Oh, it remembers which filters you put on. What if you want the opposite? You want to change... You want change one on one... Wait, you want to change on one scene to take effect in the other. I think currently, JMac, you just have to click over and then go, oh, click. Right? Click on your... Oh, you can't see that. Let me move my camera. Here. You need to click on the eyeball to turn it on or off. But with the Stream Deck plugin, you could just tell it that, right? That should be fairly easy. Ian Daly, thank you so much for the sub over in YouTube. You absolute legend. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, keeping each scene as it's old, and then rather than pull from the same source. Exactly. This feels very natural. I am gonna stop it from flipping though, because it just doesn't help us much at the moment. Okay, so we now have a gaming scene and a just chatting scene. I have only one more question about their move capabilities. Are you able to chain moves, where one triggers the next after it finishes to simulate animations? No. No, not at the moment. I think... No, we don't want the CC toner. Blurs, drop shadow. We're going to play with drop shadows in a bit. Gradient, hue, invert color, sharpen, shift channels, threshold. Oh, that's weird. I feel like I'm in Sin City. Transform. What does this do? Oh, that just allows me to scale it. Beard. That works. That also works. Okay, let's remove that. And I will need to reset the transform because I just pulled it away. But it works. So you can actually do quite a lot. I'm not sure yet. If we can... Oh, we can lock it as well. We can hide it and lock it over here. Can we do... Because that is an important thing I haven't seen yet. Because they have transitions here where you can set a global transition. Yeah? You can set it however you want. You can make them shorter, longer, that sort of stuff. My question is, can I override that? Or is that not built in yet? Because I don't see that in the effects list. And also not in the transform. Okay, I don't think we can override scene transitions yet. Which means that we can't actually, for example, say, oh, but when I switch from gaming to just chatting, I want my camera to do this move. But what I want my game to do is slide out. And then on the other scene, to slide back in, but from the right. So it doesn't sort of overlap like this. That may be future work, though. That may be something that's gonna be added at some point. But that is really interesting. I like how easy this is. It feels very easy to use. Very easy to use. So, what else can we do? Well, as I was saying, what I would like to do is I would like to add a camera border. Just to see if we can. So I'm going to make a rectangle. And I'm going to set that in the middle of my camera. I'm going to drag that up. That locks to the top. I'm going to drag that up. That locks to the bottom. But now I want it to grow slightly bigger. Because if I put this underneath my camera, you can't actually see it at the moment. So I up the width by 20 pixels. And I up the height by 20 pixels. Which they are locked. So that should work. But now... Oh! And it still locks. It still locks on. So I can make this exactly 10 pixels wider. Right? On both sides. By saying 487, for example. I'm going to say 487, enter. And now it's 10 pixels wide on all sides. And the only thing I have to do now is grab that rectangle and just drag in the corners. And I have a camera border. I can also give the rectangle a border. But if I can give the rectangle a border, why can't I give the video device a border? Why is that not an effect? So that I can easily give it a border. Hey Jay, how are you doing? You just looked at effect add-ins. They are easy to install. As in ones that people make or ones that Meld makes, David. Because that's a thing I'm actually struggling with. Do people need Meld's approval to start doing stuff? Because that, I don't think, is a good idea. I like the fact that OBS is so open source. Everybody can do it. Everybody can use OBS. And make things for it. Meld once. Okay. Do you have a link or something where we can see the add-ins? Because if I look over here, preferences, plugins, it shows me none yet. Just Meld Studio, which is, you know, the program. Interesting, though. Like, I know you can import and export, which is nice, but I would like this, for example, to have a border effect. Okay, so now we haven't colored this, right? There's a color here, but we have not actually colored this rectangle at all. Which also means, oh, that also means I can actually just... Can we make this easier? Just so you guys can do this easier than I did, right? Let's lock that. Let's grab the rectangle. What's this? What am I dragging? Hello? That is the rectangle. So instead of doing this, I'm going to put the rectangle right on top. I'm going to size it so it's exactly the size of my... When you lock a source, it doesn't allow you to snap to it anymore. So we're going to have to unlock that. That's a bit weird. I'm going to say that. Also, I can't undo the fact that I just did that. So undo is not a thing yet. Very good to know. And Amanda, thank you so much for the sub over on YouTube. Thank you very, very much. Okay, so let's move this a little bit aside. Right, this is the one we're trying to play with. This is actually really frustrating. Huh. Yeah, okay, that is something... The fact that you can't really pick what you're picking up is something that they're gonna have to fix. Because that is not fun, difficult. I now need to overlay it so I can't see it. Trust the snapping lines. Move it back underneath. And then shrink it to where I can't see it anymore. But now I can turn on the border. And I can say I want a 10 pixel border. Which it doesn't... Why would you put the border on the inside of the rectangle? The border appears on the inside. You can't choose to put that on the outside. So really the only way to set it up was the way that we did it before, which is by changing this to 497 and changing this to 734 and then dragging it so it snaps to both sides. And now we have a 10 pixel border all around. Now I want to move this 10 pixels to a little bit to the left. I'm going to do the same with this one so it's in the middle. And that does not look 10 pixels all around now. And that is because it wasn't 734, it's 739. There we go. Yeah, so now I have a border. Then in the rectangle, I need to do a gradient effect. And now I have a gradient border. Nice. A bit thick, maybe. But it works. You can pick the colors, the start color. Let's make that nice and orange. Let's take the other color. Let's make that. We'll go a little more red. We'll give it a bit of a fiery look. And then I clicked the wrong buttons. Yeah, I clicked the wrong buttons. Don't worry about it. We're back. So that actually gives us a nice little border. Now, what I want to do is I want to group these. And groups are not yet supported, which is interesting. So I can't group these two together, which means I'm worried that when I add that drop shadow that I wanted to add to give it a little bit more of a distance, I'm not sure if that is going to show up right. Let's see. Drop shadow. Give it a bit of... Oh, there it is. Yeah, no, it's fine. Let's give it a no distance. But some softness. Oh, there. It just unclicked. Softness. How soft do I need to go? Quite soft. And... How does the border handle transitions between scenes? Well, Grandil, that is something we're going to figure out now. Or that's something we're going to figure out in just a second. Because if you look... I'm going to move this over here. So you guys can see this better. I'm not going to resize it, but I'm going to zoom in. If you look at the drop shadow, it really is a drop shadow, right? Even if I change the settings, I can't upsize the shadow. I could just make it softer. Is there something else called shadow? No. So then you need to go with glow. You set it to outer glow. You take the glow to 0. You need to up the size. You take down the opacity. And I don't know what the... Okay, the choke is intensity. I mean, I set it to the color to... Okay, it doesn't show that yet. Okay. Okay. So... This way I have now a border. A shadowy border, which is quite nice. I might even add a... What shall we do? I want to add another drop shadow to this. Just so that I get that little bit of a drop as well with quite a high... There. Now the shadow up top seems very, very dense. Yeah, the shadow seems very, very dense now. So let's reduce the opacity on that glow style. And put that back in the middle. No, actual middle. Come on. You promised me you could snap to middles. You cannot. What? Oh, because yeah, okay. I glued. So the moment you lock something, it immediately becomes unsnappable, but that's fine. Okay, so what happens if we switch to just chatting now? It just disappears. Which oh. Okay, so I can't set it yet. I think. Because I can't seem to find out how. That this doesn't appear. But maybe we can play around a little bit. So what we're going to do, going to the just chatting scene, and I actually want to add the rectangle here. But I'm going to make the rectangle... I want to make the rectangle a lot smaller. So we make it smaller... And then we put the rectangle behind our camera. Now when we switch... It actually grows. It grows around the camera. So you can hack it. That feels kind of good. That looks better. You can kind of hack it. But that's, of course, not the intended use. So, bit iffy for me. Yeah, that's a little bit iffy for me. But you can hack it, so it's okay. It's okay. What do we do next? What else can we add? Display capture, media source. Okay, that's going to be video or audio. Text. Let's play with the text a little bit in a second. Markdown, which is different from text. We'll do both. And there's also a duplicator. So if I want a duplicator, is that like a source clone? Select a scene. Is that how you do... No, it's not. Yeah, I hope so as well, Grandil. I hope so as well. That is also true, RAM Cycle. But the thing is, I don't know how willing they are going to be to add plugins freely available. Do you guys see what I see? I've just added a duplicator to my camera. If you look, the difference, the camera is seriously lower quality. It's blurry. Like, this is blurrier than this one is. Duplicate. Gaming scene. Duplicator. However, it seems like the loss in quality due to the duplicator does not propagate. Let's duplicate another one. Gaming scene, the next duplicator. And we'll do one more just to see if it actually compounds. It doesn't seem like the quality loss compounds. Here we have 1, 3, and 4, and they are all the same. They are all the same. Shift select, right click, delete layers. And they're gone. No, so I didn't add... all I did is a little bit of color grading. And that's it. That's it, RAM Cycle. So, duplicator does reduce the quality, which is not great for something like, let's say, your game. But on the other hand, you don't really need to use the duplicator anymore, do you? Because you can just add things to multiple scenes, have different effects on them, have different sizes, have different masks, and everything. So you don't really need that anymore. Okay, so now we have a video device, we have the rectangle, we have an image. Let's say that we want to add some text. That is really difficult to see. Can we start by making the text box just 100 times bigger, please? Probably by increasing the text size. There we go. There is text. Thicktress, thank you so much for the follow, you absolute legend. Okay, do not get scared. I have many fonts. We're gonna make it Comic Sans, because that is the best font, clearly. Clearly it is the best font. And let's say, it can read content from a file. So you can actually do something like a sub-goal. If you can write to file, which you can do. Because you have streamer.bot. Interesting. Okay, you can even reduce the opacity and that sort of stuff. You can even make it bold. Make it a bit smaller. And now we have made a sub-badge thing. Change the... You can give it a background. Let's say a black background. But now I can't change the opacity of that background individually from the text. I also can't pad that background. Which means that realistically, you're going to have to add another rectangle. Like, realistically, you're going to have to add another rectangle. Lavender, thank you so much for the follow, you absolute legend. Thank you very, very much. And then, like, put it there and do like that. Pull that down a little bit. I'm not saying that this is gonna look good, by the way. I'm just warning you guys. This is not how I would normally build this. But I'm just testing the features. Let's pull that in a little bit. Make sure it's completely centered. And then opacity down. And make it dark. You have a little drop shadow box like that as well. Can I now grab this and the rectangle together? And you don't need them anymore. You don't need groups. You can just shift select things and resize them. You could just shift select things and resize them. Which is kind of cool. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think Meld's got me at this point. There's some really cool stuff in this that I really want to see more of. So this Thictress is called Meld or Meld Studio. You can get it from meldstudio.co. So we have text, we have rectangles. We can rename them as well so we know what we're actually working with. How does Markdown work? So Markdown is just a different form of text, except I can use Markdown. Yeah, you can use Markdown for styling. You can even make code boxes. Yeah, you can style it completely using Markdown. Okay. And the code box stays the same size as you started it off with. So yeah, you can change that exactly how you want. Hey, Fega! I have to say, I'm enjoying this. What if I just want regular styling for this and not... So code styling, yes, but regular code styling, and I could spell. There we go. Can I then resize it? No, it also stays the same size. So then you have to pull it out of code, put it back in code to get it to size up. Hey, Donnie, thank you so much for the follow, you absolute legend. And Fega, it is my pleasure. I absolutely love doing these tutorials. I love working on this stuff and discovering stuff as well. There's a lot coming. I have a new video that I need to render after the stream, which will be coming out tomorrow, which is going to be awesome. It's going to be really, really awesome. Okay, so now we lost the sub goal. So what we'll do is we'll grab... the markdown is just there for fun, right? So we're just going to copy that. We're going to put that in this one. That is the text copied. And then we'll take its rectangle as well. We'll put that in. Right? They're now both there. We'll select both of them. And put them over here in front of the video, please. Right, that's the text, and that's the rectangle, and then we can upsize them a little bit. And it looks good. You thought you were already following? That's fine, that's fine, it happens, it happens. How are you doing? So that all works. We now know what the duplicator does. We know what Markdown does. We know what the rectangle does. The media source, I'm assuming, is just going to be audio. Or video. It immediately asks me to open something. Okay, let me do this. Let me pause the music for just a second. And I'll just grab a random piece of music that I happen to have. And then we should probably be able... Oh! Okay, so now, okay. We're going to be playing around with that in a little bit, then. We're going to be playing around with this in a little bit, but we now have an extra audio source to play with. What can it do? Add an audio track for the... Unlimited audio tracks. That looks like unlimited audio tracks. And then you just put the opacity to 0, and nobody can see it, but everybody can still hear it. Play when scene becomes active. Loop playback on and off. Oh, you guys can't see that again because it's under my face. That's one thing I'm going to say. I find it quite frustrating that I can't shift these around, right? But that's quite nice. That's really, really nice, actually. You could mirror them. I'm assuming that that is mostly for like video sources if you want to have a video playing, which absolutely makes sense. From what you've seen so far, do you think it's better than OBS? Victress, I'm gonna say it's more modern and more intuitive than OBS so far. I feel like there's a lot you can do. I feel like there's a lot that it still requires us to do. But what it requires us to do feels much more modern and much more sort of how we would expect things to go for the sort of systems that we work in. Can you embed scenes within scenes? Now, that is something which I have not noticed that it can do. So, if we... So, yeah, Ctrl-Z, Ctrl-Y would be very nice. I think that's coming, because if you go to their website, they are working on a C++ undo redo framework. They're investigating it. Summary of best practices, requirements, so grouping, reliable performance, merging, different patterns that they want to... Real-world undo and redo APIs that they can tap into. So yeah, they're definitely working on it. They're definitely working on it. I just think it's not there yet. So there's that looks like a feature they are absolutely adding. Yeah. Okay, so I think we have to check for... Oh, I don't want another scene. No, we don't need another scene right now. That's okay. What we do want is to see if we can embed scenes. How would we do that? Duplicator. Select a scene. Just chatting. No, I can only duplicate layers. So it's not the duplicator that does that. Media source doesn't work. Display capture would just grab your display, right? Video device just grabs your video devices. Browser is for browser sources. I like that image. That is cool. And it can also add an audio track for that source, which is nice. But as far as I can see... No. No. Nested scenes is not a thing yet. That may be coming, but it is not a thing yet. I'm gonna be honest, I do hope that they are also going to allow us to shift things around. So nested scenes is a very good trick in OBS. Let's head over to my test OBS. Here you can see my test OBS, right? So what you can do at that point is, for example, this is my gaming scene, right? This is where I play the game. But I have my camera over here. So that's designed. It has a border. It has everything that I need. What I can do is, instead of adding my camera to the gaming scene, I just add that scene to the gaming scene. Similarly, here we have the goal bar that I made for Content Delta, which is free to download on the Content Delta website. Let's say that I want to add that to this. Well, I can just go add scene, pick the goal bar, and it adds that whole scene as a source. Just completely. And I don't have to change anything. If something changes here, so let's say that I change this from daily points to daily subs, and I go back, then it also changes there. So it copies it to every other scene that you're using. That's a nested scene. So you use a scene as a sort in another scene. It also makes your organization easier to navigate. Exactly. Exactly. So what is the next thing that we need to do? I think we are going to look at the audio options for Meld. Now, this can become a little weird. I'm just gonna say it. They have 3 options here. Okay, I'm gonna delete track 1, and I'm gonna add it. Oh, that doesn't work. Select device. And I'm gonna grab my microphone. So you guys can now hear my... There's now my microphone. You can see that on the bar down here. Right? It's right here. If it wants to work. It doesn't. Okay. So then it has a cue. That allows me to monitor the audio. Which is that I can hear it myself now. I don't know if you guys could. I think you could. Which is good, because we are gonna test things. So I can choose, now this is playing, right? And I can see up here. You guys, it's really small. It's really small. This is your highest noise level. And you can click it for it to retake your highest noise level. So you can see, and I'm going to mute here on Twitch and YouTube just a second. There we go. Yeah, that works. That actually works. Interesting. So I hit 0 there. Here, we can see this is our media source. That one is constantly hitting 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute the music here. And let's put this to listen. That's loud. And now we're going to remeasure. Around the -33 mark. That's not bad. You have an instant mute button. You have an edit button, so I can send it to a global audio track. Which means now it should show itself no matter which scene I'm on. And it continues playing. You can put things as global audio individually. So I don't need to add, I can make a scene with my audio stuff, make that global, and it just works. So instead of having the media source here, what we can do is add a scene, call that the audio scene. Copy that onto here. And remove it from here. And it just plays on all the scenes. It's not easy nested scenes, but for your audio, it is. That is interesting. Fun and interesting. There's a few things I'm missing, though. This is a mono channel. Oh, the song ended. Did I not put that on loop? No, it's not ended. Why did the sound stop? Why did the sound stop when I put my microphone to mono? Oh, because it crashed! So turning your microphone to mono crashes it. Now let's see if it saved everything. It did save everything. Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, so there are... Oh no, look, now it's mono and working. Let's set this to channel 1. And let's take this one and set this to... Oh, it's global, right? Can I still... I can exclude that from the Twitch VOD track. That's nice. But that is curious. That caused a crash. I'm gonna just assume that that was a bug. And that it will fix itself. Okay, I'm going to stop monitoring that audio. Turn on our own music again. Actually, no, I'm not. Because there are 3 different things that we can set up here. Gain, Magic Mic, and stereo panner. So what we're going to do is let's... I'm assuming that the gain is just gain, right? So let's turn on the audio. Let's give that a little bit of gain. See if that becomes louder. Yes. That is very hard to control. That is very hard to control. And you can't click the number to change that. I'm gonna call that a loss. That is not great. Magic Mic. Don't do gain control. Okay, I want to hear the Magic Mic on my voice. So, this is going to be a little weird. For just a moment. Add the Magic Mic. Without blowing our ears out, please. Okay. And now I'm going to set it to very high. What does this do? What does Magic Mic do? What is this? What is the functionality here? Are you... Magic Mic is a stripper film? I know it is. I know it is. Okay. What we're going to do... I, of course, also have a device right here. I'm going to bypass all processing. Hello? Hello? There should now be a bit of noise. There is. I can hear Frosty clicking. Now we turn on Magic Mic. And Magic Mic is set to very high. It does nothing. I don't think Magic Mic does much. It makes me sound worse. Hello? Yeah, no. I don't like Magic Mic. Magic Mic is weird. And then there's a stereo panner, which I'm assuming is just left, right. Yeah, okay. So there's not a lot of audio stuff yet that they have added. There's not a lot of stuff of audio that they have added. And I'm going to be honest, the Magic Mic didn't do much for my microphone. Frosty, you can stop giggling now. It's called Magic Mic. There's nothing I can do about it. You know what? All in all, I'm going to say that this is pretty decent. Like, as a software... It works. It actually works. And that is, in the end, the most important part. It has to work. And it does. So, it is super user-friendly. There is still a lot missing. I'm gonna say that right away. But there is definitely some stuff that you can do with this. I'm quickly dragging it to the other screen because it's time for me to put in my stream key. Where are you? I already prepared you. There's the fake account. No, I don't want knocking. Just let me grab my stream key because apparently I can't log in with it yet. Okay, I've just added my stream key. I don't see multi-streaming. I can't add multi-streaming anywhere. Nowhere. Let me quickly check. Okay, it has hidden my stream key. Good. Yeah, look. I don't see it. I don't see it anywhere. Interesting. So, hardware encoder, yeah. I can't. So a lot of the settings that you would normally have in OBS have very much been taken away. Like different frame rates, different encoders, different, all that sort of stuff has just been taken out of your hands. Make it easy. Which I suppose is fine. Now, I did put a server in here, except it changed my server. Do I just go that and then it... Oh, that's how it works. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. That might be a feature for now only in macOS, but then on their website, they mention that... Where is it? Where is it? I have it here somewhere. Was it this one? No. Was it this one? No. Was it this one? No. RTMPS support. So how do I turn that on? You can now live stream to any destination that supports RTMPS. To stream to RTMPS destination, simply enter your RTMPS URL into the stream server field in Meld Preferences, along with your stream key. Yes, but I would actually like to stream multi, as you guys say I can, based on this. So this is not actually correct. This is just an image. Good question. I have no idea what RTMPS stands for. It's a connection protocol. Real-time messaging protocol. S. Probably secure, just like HTTPS is HTTP secure. So this is actually not in the system yet, which is a little disappointing, since they do like promote it on their website. I don't really feel good about that. I don't really feel good about that. Okay, there's one more thing we need to do. There's one more thing we need to do. We're gonna add a browser thing, right? Gonna add a browser thing, and what we're going to do is we're gonna have to grab a browser source. So I am just going to go over to Stream Elements, and I will grab the browser sources for this channel. For, let's say, Twitch. I need to grab one. Twitch or YouTube. So I'll quickly grab those. Grab those from my overlays. Copy URL. Hey, Simmy, how are you doing? Put that in there. And now they've been added. I don't know how they're going to look, but they've been added. Fair enough. Let's set it to 1920 by 1080, which I think they should be at. There. We'll just put them there just so we have a browser source in the dock, because that's how most people would be using it, right? They would have at least one browser dock. Okay. Time to go live? Are we ready? Are we just gonna give it a try? I mean, this is not perfectly right, but I'm gonna click the go live button. We are now live. If you guys want to see where I'm live and want to see the stream quality, I have put the link in chat for you guys, both on YouTube and on Twitch. That's where we're streaming. Yeah, it's just, we're just testing, of course. I'm looking at the, I'm opening the stream for you guys here as well. So, if you look, quality is nice. The quality is really good. Wow. Like, that looks super sharp. Of course, we're only streaming an image at the moment. So that doesn't help much, but let's get weird. Let's get weird. We're gonna remove the image. Just gonna leave that hidden. And we're gonna add a... I'm gonna shrink this because that is hard. I'm gonna add a media... no, I really should. I've just noticed something. I've just noticed something. What's missing? You can't add games. There is no game source. There is no window source. There is only display capture. So I can't stream. Because you'd see my screen and every time I alt-tab and all that. You know what? I would classify that as a problem. Because I can add a display capture, right? Let's do... Oh, wait, no. I spoke too soon. It allows me to window capture in the display capture. I can pick a window in the display capture. Okay. Okay. You know. Forgiven. I may have been a bit too quick with this. So, what shall we do? I'm gonna open a game. And stop offering me stuff. I'm not gonna buy anything. Let's open Noita. Stop it! Okay, Noita is open. I'm quickly going to mute it. I think that is the quickest way to do that. Okay, Noita has been muted. And now we can go in here, and I cannot pick Noita? Do I need to update the list? Am I gonna have to add a Oh, but that's fine, right? Because you can... No! Okay, this is actually a problem, because now... What I would normally do is I make a scene, I add all my games to that single scene, which is not going to work. I'm going to have to display capture and then find Noita. But if you guys look here, Noita doesn't appear. So it can only capture a whole display or a window. So I'd have to pick one of my monitors. And then play it full screen. And then again, what I said is true. I can't set it to alt tab and that sort of stuff. So you guys don't see that. Only I see that. Yeah, you know what? That's a pretty firm deal breaker for me. I know that sounds ridiculous. But that is a pretty firm... That is a pretty firm deal breaker for me. Like, I don't like when it happens. Set it to... Yeah, but... I mean... Windowed. Yeah? Apply and return. That's not windowed! Full screen windowed. It's doing some weird stuff, but that's fine. Okay, so even on windowed mode, it's not windowed. If you just leave it on your monitor size. And then I can add it. But now it looks weird. Because it has a bar at the top. Which means you're going to have to fluff around with, like, upsizing it. So it snaps to that, and it snaps to the other side. Okay, that works. Do they give plugin features to add gameplay? So, Kiram, I don't know if they do, but this is really weird. So you either have to display your whole, like, we were just talking about this, right? Either you have to display your whole screen, or you need to put it in windowed mode to be able to show it. Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. Also, something else to quickly point out. Something else that they have on their website. Look, it says here that I can track my CPU usage. Right there. I don't see that here. But privacy, imagine by accident closing your game. Yeah. While having sort of, like, some people will have personal backgrounds and they will have gaming backgrounds or streaming backgrounds, or maybe they have a somewhat promiscuous background. It's a possibility. Or you maybe have, like, things behind the game that you alt tab into so you can see chat. That is... Yeah, no, that's a deal breaker. That needs to be added. Right click on the stats does nothing. Nothing at all. Okay, so we now have a game in there, right? I'm now gonna overwhelm the stream. I'm gonna add a media source. And I'm going to add a media source because I want to see how well it does with, like, encoding and that sort of stuff. So I'm gonna pick a game that we played last week over on my other channel. And I'm just gonna go, let's go over there. So this would be us playing a game. This is captured at full HD, 1440p. It, by the way, goes over the 8000 bitrate, which is not great. And if we then open the stream, because now there's movement, there's actually things going on. I mean, that's still... Ah! Is that the media source? Wait, can we go back on that for just a bit? That's too much. No, we cannot. Maybe? Where do I turn around? I want to see if this is the media source that made that very glitchy move. Where it's just completely blurred out. It is. That's the media source. I feel that media source is making me nauseous. I was playing the game. I had it in OBS. No problem. But how the media source is handled and smoothed, that is actually nauseating. I'm going to turn that off in just a second. Because if we look, it actually looks fine. It looks great. You can clearly see that it's very, very nice. Okay. So that does not work. You just opened WoW in the display window with no problem. Do you play WoW in windowed full screen, or full screen mode? Grandma Boo. Because if it's a Noita problem, that is a possibility. It could be a Noita problem. Let's put it back to the setting I had it on. And I'm going to close it. So Noita should now Yeah, it has lost connection with Noita. Okay, that's fine. It just displays Noita for a bit. Okay, let's try another game then. Maybe Noita is a bit of an issue here. I don't know. What do I have installed that I can show it on that I know is fairly okay optimized? I'm just looking for a game that's not just indie, right? If it's indie, that might be the problem. Yeah, that's not optimized, but it would work. Yeah, let's open up Satisfactory. Let's open up Satisfactory, see how it does with that. Because Satisfactory is also on my other screen, so I need to move it. There we go. It has been moved and crashed. Immediate crash. Please boot. Even if it's on the other screen, just boot. I try booting it, and it immediately crashes each time. Okay, so not satisfactory then. What about Cult of the Lamb? Let's try that one. I'm wondering if it's this that's getting it to crash. Okay, Cult of the Lamb is booting. Cult of the Lamb is definitely in full screen. That's OBS. Where's Meld? Meld. I'm going to change this display capture. And we're going to change it from Noita to Cult of the Lamb. That works. That works. Yeah, okay. What the hell was that? I don't know why that turned bluish for a second. I think that's part of the Cult of the Lamb. But why is that not filling my screen? Fit to canvas. There we go. That works. Okay. So, certain games do work. Certain games don't. Now, I happen to know that Noita definitely works in OBS. I know this because we played it last week. And if I just have a look at the other stream, which I can't because I closed it down. Let me just open it. Just so I can have a look at the quality, right? Yeah, that quality's fine. I would say the quality, it's not great, right? It's not great, but it's fine. Yeah. That looks amazing. Actually, it looks just as good as it would on Twitch through OBS. There's no difference there. I would say there's no difference there. There might be a slight difference there. I don't think there's a difference there. Now, there's only one thing I would like to know, and that is how much CPU I'm using. However, we can't see that. Despite it being displayed right on their website, we can't see CPU usage. So, I'm going to open my task manager. And we're going to have a look here. Okay, so my GPU is definitely being used quite severely. My CPU as well. And then, yeah, okay, that's that one. That's that one. They keep jumping around. I can now say... Yeah, it feels kind of baity. It does feel kind of baity at this point. When there's one thing missing, I can go, okay, that's fine. right? When there's multiple things missing, I find it a little weird. But I have news. I have news. So, I'm looking at OBS versus Meld. Now, let's set the parameters up correctly. Meld is streaming to Twitch. OBS is streaming to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Plus, it has a replay buffer running of 500 megabytes. Or 300. Replay RAM of 300 megabytes. Also, does not have a replay buffer yet, Meld. A replay buffer is where you can record and it will remember a certain part of the recording, so you can press a button and save the last 30 seconds or minute or 5 minutes. So then we have what I'm looking at here. My OBS is using between 2.6 and 3.8% CPU. Meld is using between 2.5 and 3.3% CPU. And it is not clear which one takes more. So sometimes Meld is above OBS, other times OBS is above Meld. OBS is running 2 extra sources. Then RAM comparison is a little harder. So I'm going to say about 850 megabytes of RAM for Meld. 880, really. And my OBS is using 1.3 gig. So 1383 megabyte of RAM. Now we have to remove the 300 megabyte replay buffer. So that's about, let's say, 1083 megabyte of RAM. So there is a slight difference between those, but those can probably be explained by my OBS just being used more and streaming to 2 places at once. So on initial thought and on initial numbers, I think they're fairly equal. I think they are fairly equal. Grandma Boo, thank you so much for the follow, you absolute legend. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I would say they're fairly equal. So the only thing that we are missing now is where do they keep their plugins, right? Where do they keep their plugins? That's the only thing I don't know about. Are they in the Discord by chance? Because I'm not in the Discord. I'm in too many Discords already. That could be the case. That could be the case. No plugins out. Okay. Okay, fair. So I suppose the question then becomes, and I'm going to stop streaming to the other platform for now. The question then becomes, what are our opinions, or what are my opinions on this new OBS? This new streaming software. You know what? I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I think it's going to be an alternative. And not a replacement. It is easier to use. It is more intuitive. However, what it is not is open source. And that means I can see something really, really nasty happening very, like, not very soon, but eventually. Hey, Bertator, how are you? The simplicity of Meld is actually really impressive. Yes. Like, the simplicity is really, really good. Really, really good. There's a lot you can do with Meld. Just this simple thing, right? Where's my Meld? This simple thing of I'm able to just switch screens and it automatically knows precisely what should be where. Just off the cuff, because I've been using the same things. The built-in filters for everything, literally everything, is really, really cool as well. If you want to get like a hologrammy kind of idea. I don't know why the Venetian blinds are currently orange. Oh, because I put the box behind it, didn't I? Yeah, that's why. Okay. I feel like there's a lot of potential. I feel like there's a lot of potential. But there's a few things that I'm worried about. Really, really worried. Like, get me right. Everything being switching, moving, like move sources, move transitions being basic is great. The fact that there are a massive amount of built-in plugins is amazing. The fact that the filters, or sorry, the sources are remembered is absolutely fantastic. But we have to get back to it. It is not open source. Which means I am worried for two massive things. The first one is the plugin market. Is Meld going to allow third-party people to make in plugins for Meld to make life easier for streamers when they don't do it? At some point, the development is going to slow down. Can we add filters? Can we do plugins? Can we add things to Meld the same way that you can to OBS? Which is a direct consequence of OBS being open source. And secondly, and it comes again down to the open sourceness of this, and that is a much more considerable problem, and that is exactly what Grandma Boo is saying. Money, money, money. How long is this software going to remain free? Is this going to become paid? Because currently, there is no revenue model. There just isn't. That has always been the problem with OBS. There is no revenue model. So, how is the company going to pay its developers? How is the company going to make sure that they can keep up with the demands of the people? That I am really worried about. I think for that reason, I would not switch over to Meld at this point. Because when I look at their website, I'm being sold things that are not there yet, such as seeing the CPU usage in the software, the RTMPS outputs, which they claim exist, by the way, which they claim exist, but multi-streaming, they say it exists here, it doesn't yet. And at that point, it can be really, really awesome, and stuff can look really, really great, and it can work super easy, super user-friendly. Don't get me wrong. All that is true. But that is definitely missing something. That is the one thing I'm really worried about. And you can see this as well. Like, you can remap audios to different channels. You can put stuff out. You can stop stuff. You can have stuff. but the audio is not fully developed yet. The scene editor is amazing. I want to be able to switch how it looks, but that is me. It has all these different options. The effects are really, really cool. If you can actually get your starter effect presets as well. They have presets. Okay, there we see one possible option of how they're going to make money. Selling effect presets. But I'm going to be completely honest. There's a lot of stuff that we see right now. There's a lot of stuff that it can do. But there are also just things that are not there yet. Wait, they say you can corner pin. Oh, you can corner pin. That's kind of cool. So corner pins allow you to change where the corner sits. And you can get like 3D effects on your images. That's kind of cool. I feel like we're missing stuff. I really feel like we're missing stuff. And I'm not sure if that is going to be fixed in time. And most importantly, as I said, what is their revenue model? How do they make money? You cannot have a business without having any form of way you make money. It's super simple. You need a way to make money. You just do. Can StreamerBot be used with Meld? Not at the moment, but Meld does allow for WebSocket connections. And therefore, I would say yes. Eventually it will. Eventually it will. Okay, there's one last thing I want to check quickly. Because I just saw it. Apparently, what they are saying is that there is... You can chroma key. Yeah, here we have a chroma key. Okay, great. But they also say that you don't actually need a green screen. They say... That's not implemented either. Is that not implemented either? No. The NVIDIA green screen thing, which, by the way, is on their site as a feature. Virtual green screen. Tritone, transform, tint, threshold, shift channel, sharpen. Which one would it be in then? It's not in black and white, that's for sure. I have them installed. You can detect and remove the background from your layers in real time, allowing you to replace it with any background. Black and white. No. No, no, no. No need to ask for forgiveness. Absolutely not. Okay, that actually looks a lot better. Just saying. A little bit of contrast can be good. Corner pin. Directional blur. Drop shadow. Fill. Oh! Okay, the fill just makes everything one color. Never mind. Fractal noise. Holy shit, there's a lot here. You can add just literally, you can add noise. Which I suppose is good. If you... You can't animate it. So you can't make like an old-timey TV. Gaussian blur, glow styles, gradient. No, that's not it, definitely. Hue saturation. No, no, that's not it either. We do not have the virtual green screen implemented yet. It's on the way. Stop selling bullshit. Sorry. No. Nah. Stop selling shit you don't have. You have it on your website. It's a block. You can click a single button and the block gets hidden. Stop selling bullshit. Oh, that pisses me off. Sorry. That pisses me off. I hate it when companies do that. Hate it. If you say it's there, make it there. I get that you're still in beta, but then don't have it on your website. Man. I do agree with you, Tater, right? It is very intensive of resources, but for people that have no other option, you can do it. Don't list future planned features as current. Exactly. If your front page has this image... What just happened? We're still live, right? Something decided to ping at me on my PC. I think we're good. Yeah. There are people in Discord saying they saw it on their website and they are confused as well. Yeah. No, sorry. If you have features such as being able to track your CPU, right? Right here on the front page, it is literally the image you greet people with. This is your selling point. Your outputs, being able to multi-stream, is a selling point. And you're using that on your main page. No, I find that really hard to defend. I find that extremely hard to defend. For all the amazing stuff that they do, and for all the stuff where I feel like they actually are improving for streamers, definitely, especially starting streamers. That's just... Nah, and I can't believe that there are so many, like, Knackers is a pretty big name within the streamer.bot world. Nathan or Die is fairly well known. That these people are backing Stream with Meld in such an explicit way. I can't. It's fun. It might be something for the future, but I don't think that I can right now recommend Meld. Just based on the fact that the promises that they make just don't hold up. And there are a few small things that are really frustrating. Really, really frustrating, and this is one of them. Like, I understand this one, right? Here's the number one reason right now people will fall in love with Meld over OBS. UI, UX. It's simple. Yes. 100% true. You don't always need plugins to create cool effects. Except you do. Because you can't override transitions. So if you have multiple of the same source on the same or on different scenes, you can't actually make them move, or glow effects are not incremental. all these things. Like, I can't... Let's say that I want to make something pulsating in Meld. Let's say that I really want to have it that whenever I get a sub, let's say like that, this pulsates with like a nice woo. Right? A nice woo. Where it just has the exact same colors and it pulsates in and out. Woo. It can't do that. It can't do that because I can't automate the move of that opacity. So I can't make animations. Like this, stop it. Where is it? There. This move, like that blink, I can't do. There's no way. It's cool that you can do a lot of static stuff, but to make OBS look good, and the thing that really helps OBS look good is the fact that you can do shit like this. I can choose where it comes from. I can choose how things look. Oh, do I want my camera away? Fine. I have a transition override that I can put the small screen away. Oh, do I want to look at the TTSs that we have? I have a button that allows me to do that. I can go over here. I can move my camera in a nice and slidey fashion. I can't do that because I can't override things. So what am I going to have to do? I'm going to have to duplicate my gaming scene, right? So I now have two gaming scenes. And in one of them, I take my rectangle and I take my camera and I drag them off to the side. And now I need to change scenes every time that I want to bring my camera in and out. It's good for those who aren't looking for bells and whistles, or even senior streamers like me who may not have the ability to implement plugins. I'm lucky that I can to a certain extent, but it's also about learning how to. I fully understand that people say the UI, the UX, that looks amazing. Like, the ease in which we can use a lot of the things and a lot of the especially the real sort of masking and resizing, and you have a button and you can crop and you can see, also important, you can see what is outside of the crop, right? I can see, okay, maybe not. What am I holding right now? Display capture, go away. I don't want you. I wanted the image. I can see what is outside of the crop, so I know where to cut instead of having to guess and then move back and then move forward again and then... Like, I could just do that. Okay, I'm gonna say... You know what I'm curious about now? You know what I'm curious about now? Preferences. General. Canvas. Okay, so they do have portrait mode. That is actually something they've implemented. Okay, well, I was wondering because I hadn't seen it yet. But apparently that is actually implemented. Yeah, I think there's a long way to go. I think there's a long way to go for Meld. I think there's a very long way to go. But I do like the simplicity. And I do like a lot of the features that it now offers in that simplicity for newer streamers. Like being able to just woink, okay, now it's round. Oh, now it's square. Oh, I can see when I'm exactly on the middle, right? Right there, I'm exactly on the middle. And I can adjust this any way I want. Perfect. Great. But I feel like there's a few things I would like to see added. A few things I would like to see changed. And I'm gonna say it one more time because this is important. This is very important. There is no business model. Unless eventually you have to pay to use. Unless eventually there are ways in which they decide that they can make money off of this software. There is no business model, which makes it a passion project, which means it's OBS. Just at that point, you can just stick with OBS. Damn! I was so positive. I felt so positive about this, and it just turned. There's nothing on a business model. What in their meat meld? Level up your live stream. Yeah, that's great. Optimized and efficient. The power of a digital audio workstation. Yeah. First release is only beginning. Updates regularly, every few weeks, not every few months. Introducing new shader effects, audio effects, and much more. Over the next few weeks, we plan to share a lot more about Meld Studio, but for now, we would love to invite you to try stream with Meld and let us know what you think. Yeah, I'm curious. Like, I love what they're doing. I like that they're implementing so many things natively and that it has such a nice, easy way to work. 100%. But I just don't see how this is a sustainable business. And that is rough. Because I don't buy, so I'm not the person that buys into that stuff because I'm worried that it will go away, and I don't like the idea that it can go away. Do they have native closed captions yet? Nope, no native closed captions. No, so for that, again, you need a plugin, and you know what, Care Mortus? I would be surprised if that ever became native. Because they don't have a language processor that can process language real time. So if you want that, they're gonna have to use the same architecture that the Google or the closed captions for Google. No, sorry, closed captions by Google speech recognition plugin uses. And that does nothing. Then you're just using plugins again. You're just using them natively. Like you can do the move transition thing with the move plugin, which you can implement natively. Yes. But you can learn how to install a plugin, which takes... I think I could teach anybody to install a plugin that is at least a little bit computer literate, that wants to stream. Let me put it like that, because you need to have some sort of computer literacy for that. To even want to stream. Yeah, I feel... I'm not going to say disillusioned. No, not disillusioned. But I do feel like there is room for improvement. Especially on that front. Especially on that front. Which is a shame. It really is a shame. Okay, well, that means with that judgment that we are going to say a goodbye to our friends over on YouTube. We will continue over on Twitch, where we are going to play some games. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you had a wonderful time. I hope you guys learned about Meld and give it a try for yourself. Don't just knock it because I say so. Don't do that. Give it a try for yourself, see what it feels like, and give it a few streams. You might like it better. You might not need all the bells and whistles of OBS. But if you do, stick with OBS for now, but definitely keep Meld on your radar. You will want to keep it on your radar.